Hello, good morning to everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you're not new, welcome back. And if you are new, I hope if you see what you like, you consider giving me a thumbs up. A thumbs up. I'm in my gloves because today is putting this meat that I got in my grocery haul yesterday, putting it in the freezer or using it or whatever. So in this particular one, this is 3 pounds of ground chuck, and it is there we go. It's the 80-20. I'm going to put a pound in each bag. I'm not going to measure it like a chemist or anything. I'm just going to eyeball 3 portions into these quart-sized Ziplocs and stick them in the freezer flat as I can and hope for the best. And then I've got 2 more in the fridge right now and 2 packs of chicken that I have to go through. Before I get started on that, if you are not new, thank you for coming by for all of my videos, vlogs, whatever you call these, and for always giving me thumbs up if you like what you saw and that kind of thing. Love meeting new people, but the people that I've come to know here have become very special to me, and I think you all know who you are. I don't want to forget anybody, so I'm not going down a list of names, but there are some people that just never miss commenting, and they make me feel like I have, an audience. So I am going to get busy with this, and I'll show you what I got when I get it. I broke it into thirds, and like I said, they're not even. I just eyeballed it. And then here are the quart jars. Here are the quart bags, and I just write on them ground beef, today's date, and that's supposed to say a pound. I don't know if it actually does, but it means a pound to me. And I'm going to try to make them as flat as I can so that they stay into the freezer without taking more space than they really should. See this tea? It took me 20 minutes to make that tea. You know why? You know that book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie? Well, it's true. I went into the kitchen and I got myself this cup out of the cupboard. That's where I keep my cups with my lids. And I was going to put some ice in it next, but then it occurred to me that the laundry was still in the dryer from before I went to bed last night. So I got the laundry out and I folded it and I put it away. Yay me, I hardly ever do that. But it wasn't my load, it was for one of the guys, and I knew they'd be looking for it. So anyway, then I thought, well, the dryer's empty, I should empty the washing machine, and I put the washing machine wash in. No, there wasn't any washing machine. There was just like 3 or 4 things in it. And I thought, well, let's look around the house, check the bathrooms, check the bedrooms, see if anybody's got any dirty clothes. Started another load. Went back to the living room, got on Facebook for a few minutes, went into the kitchen because I remembered I was still thirsty, went to the refrigerator, and then I saw this. Not cut yet, just the meat that I had not done yesterday. So I got all of the things ready to do that. And then I saw my empty cup. So I filled my cup with ice and I made myself some tea, and I'm finally drinking it. I'm trying to do 1 cup of coffee a day now and kick back because it's so expensive, where this tea is a lot more cost effective for me. Anyway, that's my story on that. I'm going to put these in the bags and I'll show you. Here are the first 3 bags. So I try to get as much air out of them as I can. I should get my seal-a-meal thing out. I really should, but I didn't. So I'll do that with the chicken maybe, the actual seal. But anyway, I'm on the second chub. Now I was going to do meatballs, and I've decided against it, and here's why. Someone, I want to say her name is Michelle, said to me in a comment yesterday that she gets her meatballs already formed at the grocery store. And I said, I always forget about that, and I thought, well, surely they're going to be expensive. And she said, somebody said they're not expensive. Anyway, I went on my app, my Walmart app, and they're not. They are very cost effective. So I'm going to try those. And if the family, they don't need to know this, okay? They eat preformed hamburgers from Walmart, so I don't know how much different it would be. And you can get them in Italian, you can get them for everything. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to portion these out mixed for whatever I happen to want them for at the particular day that I take them out. Another reason I like to take the chubs and do them like this is they're super thin. Like this, they thaw really quickly if you ever forget to take them out. And if they don't, you can drop them in a bowl full of water and they thaw even faster. So there you go. It's coming along. I'm down to, well, I've got 4 pounds, not down to, I've got 4 pounds done, and I've got 2 more I want to, flatten and get the air bubbles out of and everything. And so it occurred to me, this isn't hard. It's kind of relaxing just to sit here and have a little handy project. But if you're older, probably not if you're in your early 30s, but say you're a little older than that. Do you remember a time when grocery stores had the meat department, and where the meat was located, there was always, every store had this, a butcher on duty. If the store was open, somebody was back there as a butcher, and all of the little assistants. You could pick up a whole chicken, ring the bell, the butcher would come directly out, or an assistant, and what would you like, ma'am? Well, could you cut this chicken for me? I'd like, 8 pieces or whatever you wanted. Or could you take this large package of hamburger for me and put it in portions for me? Well, we're right on it. And you could go do your shopping, come back and pick it up wrapped. What kind of magic was that? Do you miss that? I see that they do have butchers on hand at our Fred Meyer Kroger. But I don't know if they are actually there for your service, or they're just taking meat that comes delivered to them and processing it to put out, in wrap. I've never tried it there. I suppose I could. I think our last store here that did that was a QFC, which is IGA in some places, and it's closed now. And I remember vividly, the last thing I asked for was, there was a midwifery workshop teaching baby midwives how to give injections and how to suture. So first there was practice on turkey legs, and they didn't have, I don't know what I needed, 25 turkey legs or something like that. And so I rang the bell, butcher came right up to the window. He goes, what can I do for you? And I said, well, I'm looking for turkey legs. And he goes, oh, I don't have any. How many would you like me to order? And I said, 25. And he said, Renaissance? I guess that's a thing at Renaissance fairs. I've never been to a Renaissance fair. But anyway, no, it's for a midwifery workshop, and we're, teaching and blah, blah, blah. And so he goes, when do you want them? I gave him a date. I got there the day before. I said, I don't want them frozen. I want them fresh. He's like, I understand. And he gave, my wish was his command, And it was awesome, just awesome. So I miss that. One of the things. Here's another thing. While I'm ranting on the old ways of the grocery stores, I don't know if you can still do this or not. Used to be a pile of papers at the front end of the grocery store. And it was like a wish list kind of thing, or not even a wish list, get this. You could go, hey, I notice you don't have any lemon curd. Can you order that for me? You write it down on there, hand it to the person that's taking it, and they call you when lemon curd is there. What is that? Do you think they do that anymore? I don't think they do. I mean, Walmart just announced they're not even going to give you bags at pickup. You better bring your own boxes, or they're just going to dump it in your trunk. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to keep doing this, and I'll show you more. I'm sorry I went off on that tangent. Here's the last 3 pounds. I've got, like I said, I think already 6 pounds done here. These are going in the freezer right now, flat, so they freeze quickly. And like I said, they're just plain ground beef. On today's menu, I had enchilada casserole, so I'm going to take half of this and make it enchilada casserole, and I'm going to take the other half and season it separately, cooked. So I'm not going to put them in baggies. I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to cook this enchilada seasoning. I'm going to cook this Italian seasoning, just, ground, not in meatballs. And then after it's cooked and cooled, I'll go ahead and freeze all of this, and I'll see how much of this I want for today's casserole. And if that made sense, You're very smart because it barely made sense to me. I'll show you when it's done. Okay, I'm back, and this is the last of the hamburger that I'll be doing. So this was 3 pounds. I cut it in half. This bowl right here is going to be spaghetti. So I'll be putting spaghetti type herbs in it, onions, you know, that kind of thing. And this is tonight's enchilada casserole ground beef. It's 1.5 pounds. I don't have any enchilada seasoning. I'm just going to throw these in because Best By date has passed and cook them up. And I'll add onion and whatever else to fajitas. And then, you know, like I said, they won't be tonight. This is what we're having for dinner right here, this one. This is spaghetti for storing after it's cooked. This one will be a casserole. So I'll put a lot of things in it and I'll layer it with the tortilla shells and cheese and ground seasoned meat. And that's that. And I'll take a picture of the final dish for showing tonight. I don't want this video to be too long. I'm going to go ahead and do the ground beef for the spaghetti, seasoned ground beef for that. And it's not going to be meatballs. It's just going to be ground beef. And I'll put it, after it's cool, into a baggie marked spaghetti beef, Italian ground beef for spaghetti, something like that. It's got salt, pepper, onion powder, Italian seasoning, and those are dehydrated onions just because they have them on hand and they rehydrate great when you cook them up like that. And so after I do that, I'll get onto the enchilada ground beef for tonight's casserole. So I'm going to put this in a pan right now and just get it started. I won't add the sauce to it or anything. When I'm ready to use it is when I'll use the sauce. I'll just add it to the ground beef. And basically all I have to do is cook the pasta and serve up a salad and some bread of some kind, garlic bread. Here's the bag for the ground beef that I'm cooking up for putting in the freezer to have ahead already done. I just wrote on here, pre-seasoned Italian beef, add to spaghetti, lasagna, etc. And I see I didn't put the date. I need to do that. And I can't think of anything else I would put on here. Yeah, it's pre-seasoned. I should put cooked. Okay, I'll put that. All right, I've written them a novel because I know there'll be questions if I'm not here. I put pre-seasoned, cooked, Italian beef, add to spaghetti, lasagna, etc. Heat and serve. 1.5 pounds in the date. That dog is going to drive me crazy. He's over there banging on the bells to get out the door. This spaghetti meat, the Italian flavored ground beef that I'm going to put in the freezer, is almost finished cooking, and I'll put it in a glass bowl till it cools down. And while it's cooling down, I'll start cooking this for tonight's dinner. The whole 1.5 pounds, I believe, will be for tonight's dinner. I'm going to mix it with, it's already got the dehydrated onions in it. So I'm going to use red enchilada sauce and diced tomatoes and green chilies. It's the Rotel. I wonder if it tells how warm it is on here anywhere. Doesn't matter. These guys will eat, I don't know, a fire if it's served up to them. And I'm going to serve it on the side with these Bush's Taco Fiesta. And I know these are enchiladas, but I'm using what I have. And this is what I have. These are already out of date, these 3 things, and these will be. So we get it done, and that'll be tonight, and I'll be done for at least tonight's dinner. It's 12:30 in the afternoon here. One of the guys is going to Costco. I may have already said that for me later. I wanted to let you know there is an open collab. So this open collab is going to be titled, I wrote it down. Oh well, I better go look before I tell you. Okay, I didn't remember, who am I kidding? I texted her. And she says here, it's the whole month of April, and the title is April 2023 Nostalgia Meals and Treats. Open collab. So you go to her channel, which is Nessa's Nook, Nessa apostrophe S, second word is N-O-O-K, Nessa's Nook. And you'll find open collab there. I'm going to leave the link in the description box below. and then you all can just follow that and go right to her channel. She has almost filled the entire month, so go ahead and get in while you can if you're interested in a collab. It's a really good way if you're new to making YouTube videos or would like to increase your view to others out there, to get your video spread around a little bit. The way you do a collab is you put the playlist, when you put yours up, you put the playlist in your description, and then they can see everybody else's dishes. So you're to make a meal or a dessert or a treat or something that reminds you of when you were a kid, and that is going to vary wildly depending on your age. For me, it's going to probably look like it came from the 60s and 70s. So for you, it could be 2000 or even later. Anyway, I have got my meat here done, and let's see, it's cooling, and I think once it's cool I'll be able to get it in a quart size bag just fine. Let's see, now I'm gonna wash up the same pan because I don't want to taste like Italian spaghetti, ground beef, and I'm gonna put this other meat in there and cook it up. Pan is clean and ready, and here is the meat for the enchiladas. I'm just gonna pop that in here and hope I don't drop it out. And you know what? It's gonna take 2 hands. I'll be right back. There, I meant to do that. So I'm just gonna cook this up, and then I'll start adding seasonings and the sauces, and I'll get out I won't have to freeze this because I'm using it tonight. I'll get out a baking dish and start layering with cheese and tortilla shells and whatnot. There we go. The Italian seasoned beef is ready to add to spaghetti or lasagna or whatever Italian dish that they want to put together, or I want to put together. It keeps acting like I'm doing this because I won't be here. As far as I know, I'll be here. And so I'm going to put this in the freezer flat too. It's not even warm anymore. It's wonderful. And my meat for my ground beef for the enchiladas just finished. I'm going to make sure that's good and drained, and I'm going to put together the enchiladas. I won't be freezing the meat that I just finished. It's enchilada tonight. The meat's done in here for the enchiladas. Guess what I forgot to do? So there's this. I give up. I went ahead and put in just now some more onion with the onion powder, some cumin, and some salt and pepper, and I'm going to add these to it, so it'll be fine, and plus the enchilada sauce. But I'm going to physically mix the ground beef and the enchilada, or the diced tomatoes and green chilies here to give this ground beef more flavor, which I was going to do it anyway, so that's fine. These are mission-size burritos, Mission Company burrito-size tortilla shells, and their flour. You could use corn if you wanted to. This is what I had. Thank goodness I've been squirreling these away in the pantry, because I went to get the ones I had in the fridge, and there were 2 in there. The guys eat things at night, which I love it, but sometimes it's a where to go. And that's the reason it's in a dish. I poured some into the bottom here. I'm just going to spread the love around on the bottom, so when I lay down these tortillas filled with the enchilada fillings, they'll have a bed of enchilada sauce to lie upon. So I don't want to tag my, this is washable, but I am afraid enchilada sauce stains bad. Stains like a bad, bad boy. So I just spread some of the meat on top of a tortilla shell, or enchilada shell, whatever you want to call it. And then I put on some, because it's what I have, Monterey Jack cheese. And I have more, but I'm going to do the inside with this. I'll show you. And then I put on some sour cream, and I ladle on some straight up enchilada sauce to give it some heat. Drip, drip, drip. Don't get on my tablecloth. And then I'll fold it up, and I'll put it in here. And I'll just go on ahead, and then I'll do the tops. I should add that I always put them seam down so that they don't flop open that way. 4 good size burrito size tortillas fit in here lengthwise. And then I put the last of the meat that I had prepared, enchilada meat, on top. And now I'm going to put the last of the enchilada sauce on top of that. Looks like I left about a quarter of a can, but that's okay. I got plenty on the top. Now I'm going to hit it with some cheese. And I'm going to use the Fiesta blend for the top because it's prettier than what I put on the inside. If it's cheese is cheese, it's all good cheese. So now it's got the cheese, and the peppers are the last thing. I'm going to cover it with some nonstick foil, stick it in my oven on about 350 degrees until it's completely warmed through. It's only 10 minutes until 2 here, and 2 of them are home right now, so they can eat, you know, an early dinner, or they can just eat it later. It'll be fine on the counter. I'm putting the peppers in, seeds and all, so it's just like one small jalapeno pepper. They'll dig it. They sit in their gatherings together and they eat ghost peppers and it'll kill you and meet the devil and whatever else they're called, you know, so this jalapeno ain't gonna bother them. Here we go. It's all done and ready to go in the oven with the foil on top. I just heard my oven beep. It's at 350. And it'll come out warm and bubbly, and they will top it with sour cream and more cheddar cheese, not cheddar cheese, sour cream and more cheese if they want it. Yeah, cheddar cheese, that's what I've got. I've got sharp cheddar here, but I've also got some more Monterey Jack and a little bit more of this Fiesta blend. They're also going to have these Bush's Sidekicks taco flavor, I guess, on the side, if they want. That concludes this too long of a vlog today. Day in the life. I'll tell you what, I got a lot done, but I still didn't touch that chicken. I'm not going to make you watch that. I'm going to bag the chicken up next, stick it in the freezer, and call it a day. I was supposed to go to the ladies' luncheon today. There was a Facebook page where everybody says, yeah, I'll be there, I'll see you there, and the host person puts where you're going to meet and that kind of thing. Nobody said anything for 3 days, and I said, okay, well, it looks like nobody's interested. I'll see you guys next month. And one of them called me from the restaurant. There are 3 of us here. Are you coming? I was like, I could just spit nails. Oh, well, I really, you know, if I don't go out to eat 1 month, it'll be okay. I'll go next month. And, oh, they already picked the restaurant. It sounds like a saloon. It's on the water, I think. I got to look it up. It's called the High Tide. Woohoo! Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.